I have a box full of nibs that don't fit the drawer full of nib holders. So I'm going to rig it. I've also got some of these, which you can dip in ink and draw with as well. But I'm going to rig a couple of these pins to hold nibs. So I'm going to take a couple of inches of tape, if I can find the end of it here, and I'm going to use it to tape the nib to the handle end of this nib holder. Now, as you can see, it's kind of hard to pick up a pin, nib, but it doesn't really fit on the inside of the holder, so I'm going to fits perfectly on the tail end of it, and so I am going to just tape it right there to the end of that end of the stick. Basically, that's all a pin is a stick that holds ink, right? You know, I mean, whether it's a Bic pen, a ballpoint pen, a G2 Pilot pen, it's a stick with ink in it. So I'm going to put ink in this stick and put this nib on the end of this pen and dip it in the ink. All I need is some tape. In fact, later on I might put a lot more tape on this so it has kind of a grip. That'd be nice. Kind of a grip type thing. Well, I've also got some of these little wooden sticks. I'm not really sure what these are in the box for. I don't know if they were meant for like scratch board or if they were actually meant for writing and drawing with. I suspect they were made for writing or drawing with because this box was full of, I inherited this box from one of the last art teachers. But the wooden box that you saw with all the nibs in and all that, I inherited that. It was a good inheritance. Anyway, so I'm just taping this around the stick. I also accidentally broke the stick as I was trying to do this. So I'm just going to put a little tape around that too, fix that right up. I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to work out fine. All right. Put these pins away. These little nibs. All right. Now, so I've been doing Inktober, and today's prompt is mindless. And I've been wanting to do a skull to go along with every prompt. And I don't know how exactly I'm going to do this. I think tomorrow is going to be a little bit difficult with bait. But mindless should not be too difficult. I'm just going to open up the skull here and draw this skull with the top of his head missing and revealing that there is no brain inside. I don't know. Maybe that's not very creative. Not very outside of the box thinking. By the way, today with my students, what I did was I had them write down, like I did yesterday, the prompt, which was mindless, and had them write down about 10 or more words that they thought of when they thought of the word mindless. I let them do this on their own today, so I'm not really sure what all the students came up with, what their 10 words were, or anything like that, but basically just brainstorming on the word mindless. However, I did add to that they could look up the definition of mindless and they could look up some synonyms for mindless. And so this is a great opportunity to talk to kids about synonyms and use Google, use their technology to help them come up with something interesting in terms of brainstorming. And so there was one of the words that came along with the Google definition of mindless was brainless. And so I actually had several students do a picture where it was like the inside of a head and the brain was missing, or the inside of a skull and the brain was missing, basically just like I did. Something else that came along with that search was sleeping. Like when you're sleeping, you're mindless, or mindless sleeping. And so I had a student or two do a picture of someone sleeping. All sorts of possibilities. for Mindless. I'm interested to see what the rest of the YouTube community has to offer. By the way, if you are new to this and you are trying out Inktober for the first time, or if you want to know more about it, just do a YouTube search, not a Google search, but a YouTube search for Inktober 2019, or even Inktober 2019 and one of the prompts, and you will find a long list of videos, and you will find them almost immediately. Like, for example, this morning around 10 o'clock, I did a YouTube search for Inktober 2019 Mindless, and there was already at least 50 videos out on this particular subject. So mine is not the only one. I'm glad you are watching mine. If you enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Tap the bell so you get notified of future videos. Anyway, thanks for watching. But there are more videos out there. Go check them out. Lots of really good ones. I'm trying to keep mine fairly short and sweet. I know you don't have a whole lot of time. I mean, you're already doing Inktober, so you don't have time to watch a 20 or 30 minute long video on it probably. So anyway, that's it. Here's some of the ones my students did. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope Inktober is rocking for you, and go make some art, particularly some Inktober art. Later.